musings. Welcome to another broadcast of The Curious Mind of Raquel. I am your favorite mermaid mystic and medium, and so today's video is going to be all about my dearly beloved husband told me that there might be a rumor going round about, and it's pertaining to Robert Downey Jr. and also Reynolds. And I guess on the set of, is it Avengers or Iron Man? I don't know, because I've not seen any of those movies. I did see the one first movie back a long time ago, which was the Deadpool movie. Other than that, I've not seen the Iron Man movies. Is it Iron Man? Yeah, I think my husband said it was Iron Man or the Avengers and all of that. So I wanted to sort of tap into the gentleman's energy and let's see if there was an actual feud. I also wanted to find out what the energy was between the two men, and I also want to see what will be the final outcome of what's going to happen, or what the actual situation is and what we can learn from it. Okay, so so the first thing that's ringing true to me is that I heard, "Don't be daft, darling." And to me, that is signaling that for some reason, Mr. Robert Downey Jr. doesn't seem like his energy is feeling very diplomatic and very mature and charismatic, almost as if like, no, that's beneath me. I don't do kind of Hollywood fodder. It is how it feels. It doesn't feel as though there is a feud. It feels very fueled. Oh, that's what I'm hearing. Fueled by media. Okay, so I can hear, maybe there's a bit of tension. Maybe there's something that may have not, but it comes across. Okay, so I'm hearing, do you recall back a long time ago, Robert Downey Jr. did a movie with Zach Galifianakis, and I can't remember, wasn't it about a baby or something like that? Or they went on this road trip or something. I can't remember what the name of the movie was. But it's taking me back to that memory, which was, there was some kind of, I think we ended up seeing in an interview at one time that there was, Robert Downey Jr. was saying that he actually did not, wasn't very favorable of Jack, saying that, that he wasn't very fond of him. He didn't like him very much. And this is, but feeling very, like I said, again, diplomatic, as if it, that's beneath me, like I'm a professional. And I can feel as though, to me, Ryan's energy feels very, almost in a sense, like unstable, as though they might have a little disagreement or something like that. But I do feel as though this is the time that I can see Ryan stepping back, because it feels very much like I'm not going to step on his toes, because he's like Hollywood royalty, in the sense that, is there maybe a little, just like, not being completely, on the same creative perspective, and maybe that's where there might be a little, I don't really agree with what he's doing here, but they've been able to be, and it's mainly because of Robert Downey Jr. is being very professional, not falling into the trap of this nonsense. We're not going to fall into the trap of that. If anything, I'm not. I'm noble, I'm sophisticated, I'm respected in my field, and I'm not going to lower my standards to that kind of nonsense. However, he is very much aware of, the speculation of that could be something that would start a rumor. It would be very good for, in a sense that it feels very fueled. Like I said, that's the word that keeps coming up. It's like putting gasoline on something that's, it was just maybe there was a misunderstanding. Maybe they had some kind of words, or it's feeling very much like disconnected. Those two men aren't, when they're coming together, it feels very like, oh yeah, we're good. We're good. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. Because I do feel as though Ryan's energy is very much respectful when it comes to Robert Downey Jr. And it's sort of like, when someone, you have to rise to their frequency. And when you know that, say for example, if you're a manipulator, okay, this is for an example, if you're a manipulator and you know that you can manipulate, it's very energy fueled, and it's very vibrationally fueled in that sense, that you will take advantage of someone if you feel as though you can take advantage of them. But if you know you can't, you're not going to try and do it. It's basically, you have to rise to the occasion of that particular frequency, because that's how it's only going to work. Say, for example, if I'm a high frequency person, no one with, unkindness and mean, deviant behavior is going to be able to be around me for any amount of time. It's going to completely, because it's basically like, it's basically the frequency has to be equally yoked. So this is how it feels very much to me. Now, it feels very celebratory. Were there maybe a disagreement, or, I don't creatively believe that this is the way I want to do it. So there might have been something like that, for example. But it feels very disconnected from one another. The two men feel disconnected. So if it was, say, Ryan had a problem with something that was going on with Robert Downey Jr., he would have maybe just sat with that himself and just kind of, taken it in and just sat back and waited and collecting his thoughts or whatever. Same thing with Robert Downey Jr. I don't even feel as though they're much connected in that way, almost as if they could have been on a movie but not have shot particular parts on the same day. They may have been able to do that. So it seems very disconnected, as though, let's come together for the movie and celebratory, and it's wonderful and everything went wonderful after the fact. But it feels very disconnected to me. Like they're not, that, he respects Robert Downey Jr. and Robert Downey Jr., I don't feel as though it feels very like he knows of Ryan, but he's sort of like on the outskirts of it. Like, I'm just going to sit back and watch, I'm not getting involved in that. Like, I've heard rumors of what's going on with his life and his career and all of that, but I'm not going to get involved. That's none of my business. That we're here to do a job, shoot a movie, and that's it. And that's what I do. And I go home to my family and I get paid my good chunk of money, and we'll go ahead and continually support and promote the movie, and we'll be dignified gentlemen, and that's how it's going to go. So it feels very much like that. So do I believe that there was a feud going on? No, absolutely not. It was fueled by media, and it's maybe it could have been, someone maybe hearing of something and taking and running with it, like, oh, I could create a story out of this, or I could leak something and make it insinuate. I'm not saying that that's true, but I'm insinuating that this is what's going on the set, when it's really not. It's just a bunch of people talking and gossiping. No, I don't feel like there's a feud. I also feel like it's very much, they're going to be very happy with the results. Is that to say that I do feel as though there's some sense of frustration with Ryan Reynolds, but the frustration is coming from his personal work, his personal life, which is having an effect on him with his particular role in the movie and when he's on set and everything. This feels very connected to his wife and what's going on outside of this particular movie. But he's bringing his home relations to work with him, and this is why he might be a little edgy, little temperamental, On days he might have, you know, kind of a little attitude, but it's because of all of the other stuff that's going on. But he tries to keep that off the set as much as he can, because he knows that, you know, people are watching closely him and the way he's handling himself in public, and he does not want to add fuel to the fire. And, you know, making it seem like, oh, he is absolutely impossible to work with, and all of these companies are not going to want to do movies with him anymore. So he's very, very intuitive when it comes to that. So he's very mindful. I don't want to step on any more toes than is necessary from what's already happened in my life. So I've got to keep that going. So that's how I feel about that. And like I said, what can we learn from this? Once again, to be very intuitive. Don't always take everything at face value just because someone says it. That's their job, especially on social media and these networks, to bring about things that are not lovely and of good report. That's the job of these news and media outlets, these, you know, pop culture outlets, and all of this is to create the narrative that there's always some kind of combative, unkind, gossipy, juicy morsels of, you know, awfulness going on in the world. And so what we want to do is fine tune once again our frequency, and remember that we need to focus on the positive things. The more positive we put out, the more it comes back to us, and the more that we generate that around the world. So I hope this helped, and I hope that this was interesting. I don't know, give me some more ideas if you would like in the comment section to share on my channel, because I always want to do, you know, fun little things, and I think it's exciting. All right, well, I hope that you derive benefit from this, and as always, I'm most affably yours until my next swim. Cheers, darlings. Toodle pip.